Fight for Peace, Luta pela Paz by Joseph Ruddle. Throughout this presentation, we're going to take a look at the Global North and the Global South, what Sport for Development and Peace organisation is, who Fight for Peace are, the 5 pillars of their organisation. Then we'll move on to how they build strength, reform education and grow leaders within their organisation. The key issues we'll be taking a look at is the partners and partnership around Sport for Development and Peace, monitoring, learning and evaluation within an organisation, the impact that organisation has, the accountability they take, and then we will conclude. The main differences between the Global North and the Global South are economic development and industrialisation. The kind of challenges they face are wealth distribution, the capacity to generate wealth and ideas, and the access to material, institutionalised and symbolic resources. Here, the Global North in blue are the developed economies, and the Global South are defined as the developing economies. South Africa is a developed economy. Successful Sport for Development and Peace programs work to realise the rights of all members of society to participate in sport and leisure activities. Effective programs intentionally give priority to development objectives and are carefully designed to be inclusive. They ensure they provide benefits to communities and developing countries. So who are Fight for Peace? They believe that any young person to thrive, they need access to opportunities, support and a safe environment. In the communities where they work, young people often lack access to these basic rights, and this can act as a barrier to their development. High levels of violence in these communities disproportionately affect young people and further exacerbates this problem. They are a plus sport organisation, meaning their focus is on non-sporting outcomes but use sport as a developer for these outcomes. So where are they based? The first location is their London Academy in Woolwich, their base in the Global North. Their second academy is in Rio, their representation in the Global South. Their project spans over 17 countries worldwide, reaching thousands of young individuals in the process. Over 1,000 of these young people are processed through the Fight for Peace academies every year. Here is a handy link to the Fight for Peace website for more information. Now, on to the 5 pillars. Their 5 pillars are boxing and martial arts, education, employability, support services, and youth leadership. The support they offer young people is delivered via their academy programs, and each program features a combination of these 5 pillars. Through a sport like boxing, the students at the academies are able to learn how to show each other respect. Despite being viewed as an aggressive sport, it is one based on the principles of respect and admiration for opponents. The work of Anderson, 2021, speaks to this and reflects how physical sport builds up an individual's selfhood, thus making them a better member of society. This aims to have a greater impact on the betterment of society in areas overcome with hardships. This is especially prevalent in Fight for Peace's Rio Academy in the Global South, where issues of violence and aggression are rife. Individuals from a wide range of ethnicities take part in what Fight for Peace have to offer. The ACT AS1 programme works to provide young individuals with the necessary knowledge and tools to provide a better future for themselves, with over 50,000 in community funding distributed to different projects so far this year. This includes education and employment opportunities for young people, as well as working towards helping young people find funding grants to launch their own micro-enterprises. We cannot achieve lasting peace without education. Education contributes to the psychosocial and cognitive development of communities. It allows communities to learn skills such as meditation and changes people's behaviours for the better. In settings where peace hinges on specific contexts and individuals, effective leadership for peace involves facilitating the establishment of inclusive mechanisms. These mechanisms empower local communities to voice their concerns, articulate priorities, and actively participate in crafting and evaluating responsive strategies. Leadership itself is the process that creates and nurtures an empowering environment which increases the positive energy and potential that exists within people, enabling them to resolve conflict non-violently and to participate in chartering a path towards positive peace. Fight for Peace have a multiple range of partners from a wide range of industries. They have funding partners and supporting partners, and this allows for a wider impact due to increased reach and funds. Literature on partnerships has grown rapidly in the past decade across different disciplines. However, despite conceptual attention to the value of strategic multi-stakeholder collaboration to promote peace and reconciliation, challenges posed are often barely considered in empirical studies. There is a basic assumption that all communities desire to find ways to create an environment where working together is more desirable, peaceful and secure. Therefore, with some direction and support, fractured societies can be assisted to reach this goal. Strong partnerships help lead to successful campaigns. Peace and development is a long process, and from which the charity must use the strengths of its partners to help them through the tough journey ahead. Partners, however, require progress and require to be able to see the impact of their funding and support. When examining impact, we take a look at does sport for development work? There is a rhetoric surrounding sport as a human right. Fight for Peace provides this right to individuals across the globe. To measure impact, we take a look at monitoring, learning and evaluation. This ensures the projects are on track and doing what they're meant to be doing, ensures funding is correctly distributed, and ensures there's no abuse of power by those in charge. The work of Oswald and Taylor, 2010, describe how monitoring, evaluation and learning can be viewed through two key attributes. Double loop learning, which is reflecting on the experience and using this to question critically underlying assumptions. And the second attribute is that power relations within an organisation will influence what and whose learning is valued and shared. Two key elements are required to support this. Establishing and promoting an evaluative culture within an organisation, and having accountability relationships where value is placed on learning why, as well as on learning from mistakes, which requires trust. Organisations must promote a positive culture, take responsibility for their actions, and this helps build strong relationships. This is a handy link to Fight for Peace's impact report, in which they go into detail evaluating their impact among communities they work within, as well as providing statistics to prove their success. Next, we take a look at Fight for Peace awards. These are known as hard outcomes. Hard outcomes are awards and qualifications that are gained by organisations. These show progress and tell partners that their funds are being put to good use. The next way to measure engagement is through soft outcomes. Soft outcomes are outcomes that can be measured by reactions and engagement rather than physical rewards. For example, we could say the fact that a young person came in but they never really spoke to anyone, or they never smiled at anyone, but the next time they came in they did smile and they spoke a few words. These are known as soft outcomes. And displayed on the left here are two examples of soft outcomes taken from Fight for Peace's impact report. Fight for Peace show accountability through displaying all their accounts and reports over the last few years. This shows transparency to both partners and beneficiaries. The link can be found below. There is a huge increase in interest surrounding international development. Charities must show accountability in order for communities to reflect this ideal. If a community shows accountability for themselves of the issues at hand, they can then begin the process of development in the correct way. The dramatically increased growth in interest in the role of sport in international development and the often rhetorical and grandiose claims made for sports contribution, ranging from individual self-esteem via the strengthening of communities to creating the conditions for conflict resolution and peace. Here displayed is quite a powerful quote from the United Nations. The power of sports is far more symbolic. You are engines of economic growth. You are a force for gender equality. You can bring youth and others in from the margins, strengthening the social fabric. You can promote communication and help heal the divisions between peoples, communities, and entire nations. You can set an example of fair play. Their work is dedicated to supporting young people to reach their full potential and to promoting peace. They believe that for any young person to thrive, they need access to opportunities, support, and a safe environment. The importance of good partner relations is seen for Fight for Peace, and this is reflected in the literature we have viewed today. Fight for Peace make huge impact on individuals, which feeds into the greater community, generating change and helping those less fortunate. They understand accountability and they understand how it is a highly important issue in sport, peace and development situations, yet I think it is rather undervalued by academics. Included here is the full list of references for the presentation. Thank you very much for watching.